afternoon, friends.
Okay, so yesterday we were discussing about cost control. So cost is what you are going to invest in the development of a product. So we saw cost as a cost, and cost is usually a very good indicator as to how the performance is there, and cost control is very important to make a profit. Okay, because lower the cost, your price is fixed. Lower the cost, you are going to be able to make a profit. Okay, suppose you are going to look at if you are going to look at the market, a particular product has a fixed price, so the customer decides to buy the product only at that price. So here what we do is we try to ensure that the price matches the customer's expectation, but we also make a good profit. Okay, so cost is also a good planning tool, and cost is a very good management tool. Probably we'll just be going a little more into how this cost can be used as a performance indicator, as a planning tool, and also as a management tool. One of the things we also saw was this curve. So we can crash a project. So crashing a project is essentially reducing the time which is required to complete the same. Okay, so normally you might have done the project at this point in time, but if you're cutting short the time, you have to obviously put in more resources, a lot more resources than what you'd have otherwise done. So because of that, what happens, your cost increases rather drastically. Okay, so usually what happens is there is a minimum cost. You cannot produce the product below that cost. There's a particular cost which you just cannot we cannot go below. So that is the cost which we are trying to achieve. Okay, so this will be the optimum duration, and the cost is also minimum. So if you are going to try to reduce it, then immediately the cost increases because you are adding more resources to finish it faster. Crashing also leads to a loss, and again, if suppose you are delaying a project, the buyer may not be interested to get the product itself. For instance, the recent ICS, the t-shirts were ordered, the t-shirts came after ICS. So our purchase team, they were very clever. They immediately went to the person who sent the t-shirt, told, you have made me sustain a loss because we couldn't sell the t-shirt during ICS. So because of that, you are going to give me a discount. Same thing will happen when you are going to construct a building or do a item of work. The moment you show that you are delaying, the customer is immediately going to come back to you and say, give me back the money because you made me suffer a loss. Okay, so again, this will mean that the cost is increasing. Whatever is the thing that goes into the project, okay, will all be converted to cost. And another thing we saw there were two kinds of cost, the direct cost and the indirect cost. The direct cost will keep reducing as the project proceeds on. What actually happens, initially, even before you start, for example, if you are going to do a power plant, first thing it should be ordering is the boiler. Boiler is a very long lead item. You will have to pay some money to the person who is supplying the boiler so that he can have the initial fund flow. So as you see, then the initial cost is very, very high. Then it keeps coming down. As you proceed along the project or go down the project, the cost is going to come down because you don't have to buy many things at the end of a project. Most of the things are bought at the initial stages. So the direct cost is very high in the beginning. And also we told that there is a base cost. Okay, there's a base cost which you cannot breach. It cannot start from zero. At the onset, when you go into the site, you're going to spend some money. So this is called as the indirect cost, and this will keep increasing over time. Okay. Now we'll have a look at what crashing is. Okay, crashing a project is essentially going to increase the cost. However, you're going to have certain other benefits. For instance, if you are delivering a product ahead of schedule, for instance, if suppose you are you're a real estate promoter, you are buying you're selling a flat say 2 months before schedule. What happens? 2 months the buyer is saving on the rent. Okay, he is staying in a rented house for instance. So the 2 months rent is a saving. 2 months he would have got the loan from the bank, he will be started to pay the EMI. So 2 months of EMI is a saving. So if suppose that man is not going to occupy the flat, he may be renting it out. So what he is getting, that other person is getting 2 months of rent. And again 2 months of EMI is not simply sunk in. So this sort of a benefit is always there. Especially if you are going to look at an industrial project. For instance, if you are starting working on a refinery and you are with an EPC contractor, the EPC contractor is given a bonus if he completes ahead of schedule. If he completes much ahead of schedule, the bonus is also proportionally higher. What happens is the buyer, if suppose the product is given 6 months in advance, the refinery is given 6 months in advance. This 6 month of production is not hindered. Okay. So this is the biggest benefit which they have. So crashing is a very important thing which everybody should try to achieve. Crashing a project is not destroying a project. Crashing on the other hand is reducing the time. It's like the crash course which you have for your GRE or TOEFL. Typically you should have prepared from first year. But now in the final year if you want to go, people are willing to train you. And what happens when you crash, when you go for a crash course? A regular GRE course and a crash course, what is the difference in price? Think about it, okay? The same benefit also is there for your projects, okay? So now this is a typical project. It's a project where you are having a loop. This loop takes 9 days and this one you are trying to have it as 5 and 6, okay? And when you come here, okay, you are trying to crash it in one step. Look at this, 5, 4, 6, 2. You are reducing it to 4 days. You are reducing it to 4 days. Now this is matching. This is 9. This is also 9. Then you see that there is 6 here. So why is it that you cannot reduce it a little more? Now you see you can reduce this, matching this 2, reducing your float. Your float is becoming 0. Now what happens? You are trying to make this loop also come to the 7 days. Okay. So once you do that, you are going to overall have a saving. Both these loops are taking 7 days to be worked upon. Okay. So now do you have any doubts or any questions in this? Essentially what you have done, you are keeping on trying to reduce the float. See how you can reduce the time. So if suppose you are able to do that, you are essentially crashing the project. Okay. So do you have any questions on this? I am sure you will have a lot of questions here. Okay. Yes.
Many times for giving the project more time, it is possibility is there that the contractor may compromise with the quality also.
See, in a contract, basically there are multiple checks. The contractor himself doesn't want to be caught flat-footed. He doesn't want to be caught in a situation where the owner is saying you have not done good work. So he will himself have a internal schedule. What is there in a contract is the minimum quality which should be achieved is there. Okay. So if it says M25, the owner will ensure M25 is always there. The smart contractor, he will make a mixed design of M30. He doesn't mind it because at no cost is it going to come to less than that required strength. So see what happens is you will find that when you're not making adding too much of cement, but then you're not because you're working so fast, there's a very less chance that an error is coming. See, if suppose a later stage the owner says I want to have a core test done because I don't believe your concrete. It has happened many times. What happens is in the batching plant the pour cards will get mixed. Okay. So when contractually when they see that, immediately they'll catch the contractor and say I don't believe your work, pay penalty. So at that time the only way you can resolve it is go for a core test, for that batch. Okay. So once you do that, your quality is assured. So this is a situation which all contractors will avoid. So both the owner side supervisor is there as well as the client side supervisor is there. So the chance that quality is compromised is very less because people know what is to be done, at least to the minimum. So that is not actually going to happen. They will not let it happen. Okay. So if you let it happen, you are in trouble. That is there. Okay. So you can just play around with the float which is available. Sometimes you may even play around with the time. You can play around with the time by changing the methodology of work. You can change the way you are working. Okay. So I'm just coming back here to this slide. If you look at it, if you look at cost, you can reduce the cost by going for an alternate technology. You can reduce the time also by going for alternate technology. See, if suppose you find that at end of the project, okay, maybe after 3 weeks, you need a very high capacity crane, okay, and you can see the time which you will save by using the same high capacity crane on even minor jobs. If it is possible, you are actually reducing the time. What an ordinary crane, the normal crane would have taken like 3 or 4 times to carry. Like, it might have had to carry the load in 3 steps or stuff like that. So now this one crane is going to be able to do it. Okay. So this sort of a benefit is always got when you go for alternate technologies. One of the principal things is competition. We already told about this. And then we have got a lot of advances. Okay, we got advances in IT, we got advances in supply chain management, and also in manufacturing. And please remember, quite a lot of civil engineering stuff are manufactured. Okay, this drain covers. Okay, suppose you are doing some precast work, it is manufactured. If you look at the girders for steel structures, it is manufactured. The sheeting, windows, and so many other things are manufactured. Okay, so we got a lot of advances, and we also like to project ourselves as a very customer friendly company. Okay, so because of this, we need to show cost control. Okay, and customer is looking at quality, as you rightly pointed out. Customer is looking at quality. How can I get the best quality? Why should I go for a contractor who graduated out of VIT instead of going to a contractor who has graduated from IIT or MIT? So VIT's contractors should be so compelling. Okay, so time is a very high value driver. I'm sure that you have understood the value of time and also efficiency. Okay, so we are going to have a look at how we can take decisions with cost. Okay, cost with the help of cost, how we are going for making a decision. Okay, so first and foremost, we look at the value which we give to a customer. Okay, and leadership has a cost associated with it. Leadership cost. If suppose you are if you are going to have a cost leadership, it means that you are competitive and you are having a much better edge over the other players who are in the same field. It differentiates you one from the other. That's what essentially it means. Okay, so one of the biggest thing you look at is the strategic position in which you stand. Okay, so if you ask anybody, the first name which they talk about in construction is L&T. They'll immediately say L&T is a very good company. And most of you, if I ask a question, where do you want to work? Most of you will say, I want to work in L&T. That is because of the position that company has reached in the market. Okay, and to be there or to come up to that, you need to have the cost advantage. Okay, so these two are other two things. Okay, how complete the product is. Okay, see, look at the mobile phones which you buy. Okay, when you buy a mobile phone, what comes in the box? Only the mobile phone, probably the charger and a cable. But then after you buy a mobile, you'll want to buy a flip cover. Okay, flip cover becomes almost 10% or 20% of cost of the product. Another thing is that scratch guard. You add a scratch guard, it again comes to another cost. Now just imagine you're constructing a house. You tell the person, see, I'll only make the outer shell. If you want brickwork, cost is so much. If you want block work, cost is so much. And then you say, okay, you want one coat of interior plaster, or do you want two coats? Then you say two different prices. So on and so forth, if you keep adding, how will the customer like it? Okay, so this is what we mean by product completeness. Okay, you cannot go and tell a client, okay, you didn't ask for this, so I am not going to give you. You didn't ask for the main door, so I am not giving you a main door. How many of your clients will be very happy with you? Client didn't ask you for the main door. He assumed that you knew a main door was there. This happens in many construction projects also. People will not take into account the cost of roads. Another very funny thing is, people will not take the cost of taking the sanitary waste from the toilet to the disposal point. It's a very big challenge, okay. In many places, you'll find that the EPT, the effluent ETP is at a higher level. So that means you will have to do special plumbing, you'll have to think of a tank, you may have to put a motor to pump the sewage to the effluent treatment plant. Okay, the cost was not built in because the person didn't think about it. Now if you construct a nice office room and tell the people, no, you can't use the bathroom, this is temporarily out of use because you have not paid it. This is what we mean by the product is being incomplete. Okay, and post purchase costs. So suppose you find that you give a house, a basic house, it's looking good, then you have to, if you tell the person, you have to do the kitchen cupboards. It's a very common thing. Kitchen cabinet is at your expense. And then if you want to put a modular thing, it's at your expense. If you want to put a window AC, it's extra. So what happens is the post purchase costs keep on increasing. Okay, so this is a very big thing which probably will annoy any customer. Okay, so you will have to kind of think about this. Now revenue minus cost is profit. Okay, revenue minus cost is profit. So what you get as revenue and then what you pay is the profit which you essentially make. Okay, see, I am not going to go for the, okay, so cost based pricing. Okay, cost and pricing policies. Okay, many of the things we know are based on the ethics or the values which the company has. Okay, so many times you price a product based on the cost. I had to pay so much of money to get this product. I am the only person who is making this particular model of house, so I can charge a premium. Okay, so cost will become a cost. I mean, the pricing is based on the cost plus a fancy value which the owner has. On the other hand, you are having a lot of competition. What you try to do? You try to see your cost and see how much you can make it narrow. That is what I am making narrow, the profit. The narrower the profit, the more competitive is your price which you sell the end person. Okay, so this is a very important thing. Now there is another thing like target pricing. What is this target pricing? So you will have a target. If you are introducing a new motorcycle or a new kind of apartment complex, already the place might be saturated. Okay, people are already, every flat complex has 5 or 6 vacant flats, and in that you are trying to sell a flat. So what are you going to do? You are going to have a very stiff target. If the neighbor is selling at 35 lakhs, I should make it at 28 lakhs. Then there's a very good chance that somebody might buy it. So if I know my target, what are the things which I should reduce in the cost to make a profit also which I would like? That is target pricing. Another thing is penetration pricing. Now you all will remember that Freedom 250 phone, right? Okay, so what happens is many companies, what? Not? I'm sorry? Am I audible? Okay, but unfortunately you are not audible. There was some point, it's a nothing, it's a casual point, I guess. Right, fine. So penetration pricing means, so that price is so low, people just gave the money. 250 is nothing. The moment I get up in the morning and go to main gate, by then I would have spent 250 rupees in VAT probably. Okay, so what happens is people are so impressed with that cost, they get a brand, they feel, okay, that brand is supposed to be good. So many times what happens is, to penetrate the market, you will do this sort of activity. See, Triple CL wanted to get exposure to airport construction, modernization, construction, etc. You have to have it in your portfolio. In your portfolio, you should say, I've done this airport of so much value. Okay, so who's that person in blue shirt in the middle? He's having a lot of people, he's distracting a lot of people. Yeah, I suggest you go to the back or some other place. You're disturbing others here. Yeah, now you're looking at somebody. Yes, you are the person. Right. So penetration, when you say penetration pricing, so Triple CL had to bring the price down. Some of you are wanting to become contractors. How are you going to enter into a very competitive market? How are you going to make a name for yourself? How is your brand going to come out in the market? How are people going to say, yes, I don't know if I can, I dare say my name and say this construction company, but if I'm going to be bold enough to say that, JSP construction firm is going to be there, so what I should do, I should get a visibility. Why should somebody come to JSP instead of L&T? Something should be different, and also my name should be visible. Only if suppose you are having visibility, you are going to be able to penetrate into a market. So people will reduce the price, they will build a very high building, put JSP, if I put it, then probably people will look around and say, oh, somebody called JSP is there. So this is what we do, we reduce the price somehow to get a project and then get it. Another thing is price skimming, where you try to undermine somebody. Okay, if suppose there is a business which you are running and I want to penetrate it, if I start to bring the price much below that, all will only come to me. So I am purposely making the price different, okay, which is also not correct. So legally, if you do it, if you have a predatory pricing, okay, where you want to catch a market using unethical means, that is not permitted by law. And also there is a price discrimination. Okay, so basically what it is all this revolves around the cost at which you get your product into the market. So these are some of the costs which you always incur. Okay, so when you are looking at cost as a management tool, you will look at so if suppose you are going to construct a building, you have to keep your cost down. So this is one of the way by which you can think of keeping your cost down. Okay, first and foremost is the ordering cost. Okay, if you place an order itself, there is a cost involved. Okay, I don't know how many of you have tried to order material, okay, maybe through Rivera or Gravitas, but most of the people will expect an advance. So the moment you place the order, 1,000 rupees which was in your hand has gone to somebody else's account. As long as that money is in your hand, okay, that is liquid, you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, you may even earn some interest out of it. But the moment you transfer it to somebody else, you don't have it. Then to have a setup, okay, to set up a site office or anything. That is why in that indirect cost, you'll find that the graph doesn't start from the x-axis, it has a difference. Okay, so to set up something, there is a cost. Then carrying cost. The moment you buy something, it is going to take up storage space, it's going to take up, it is also going to deteriorate. Okay, for instance, if suppose motorcycle cost is very less, you buy 10 motorcycles. Okay, what happens to that? Or Benz car suddenly they say that the cost is only 10%. So you buy 10 cars and keep it. The moment you take it out of the workshop, the value comes to, 30 or 40% it depreciates. It automatically becomes a second hand car. So things like that happen here also. If you are buying a lot of steel and you find that you are not able to use it immediately and it's rusting, you can only sell it as scrap. You cannot sell it as the same value at which you bought it. You would have bought it at a high cost, but you will not get the same benefit. Okay, so carrying unnecessarily a lot of material is also difficult. And the other thing is stock out cost. What is the stock out cost? If suppose you are going to construct a very huge bridge and then you find that you are running short of 20 tons of reinforcing rod. Okay, because the design calls for 20 dia rod, but you don't have 20 dia rod, what happens is the entire project is getting delayed. Okay, when such a case happens, you are the loser again. You are losing again. Okay, so stock out, that is if you are not having a stock, there also you are going to have a problem. If you are carrying too much of stock also, you are having a problem. So what can you do? What can be done to prevent such a situation? Sorry? Some of the things which you do is, you take you don't take too much of material. I wish that this was people are walking in at 2:30. Fine. Anyway, now okay. So if suppose you are anyway, I forgot what I was telling. Yes, if you are going to put it in a network, if you are going to put this on a network, what happens is when something is going to be required, and always from your past experience. This is where the project manager's skill comes. Okay, this is why a fresh engineer may not be expected to do the entire network, or he may not be expected to give the time schedules. What happens is the person will have enough knowledge of the site conditions as to know when work can actually proceed. Work can be stopped because of climate, work can be stopped because of political unrest, work can stop because of festivals, the entire labor force may go. So that means in that period of time, if you are going to stock material and keep, it is idle stock. You should either try to finish the work before or try to start the work after. So if you are having a good plan, you will be able to also see on a visual scale when material is actually required. Okay, today the system is such, okay, the advancement is such that the entire plant is modeled in 3D, as I was telling about the building information modeling, and you can find out when this reinforcing rod has to be actually coming into the site. Okay, so we are having a lot of advances over what we had in the earlier days. So this is something which you always do. You always minimize total ordering and carrying cost. Obvious. What is this EOQ? So it is the economical ordering quantity. EOQ is economical ordering quantity or economic ordering quantity. So if you are ordering too much or too little, you are in trouble. Okay, so you try to work out a balance, and it also establishes the reorder point. So you know that you are having, say, about 1,000 bags of cement in your godown. So you will be saying, when the bags come to 100, it is the critical time for me to bring in fresh stock. So when should I order so that it comes when I have 100 bags of cement only? So that is what we mean by the reorder point. Okay. So again, when reordering, you cannot have too much, you cannot have too little. You cannot have a stock out condition, nor can you go in for a place where you are carrying unnecessary amounts. Then again, there is this, this is something I'm sure you will understand. I don't know, suppose you want me to go through it again. Okay. So there is this fixed cost and variable cost. We went through it yesterday. So this is the thing about fixed cost. Okay, it will keep following a step pattern. That is why it is in a straight line. Okay, and variable cost will always change. And in a project, ideally the the shape of the curve, okay, the cost, the spending curve will be an S shape. Initially it will be very less, then it will peak up, and then it will start to taper down. Okay, so that is the way you will bill, but when you are looking at the cost, it will be slightly different. Okay, you will have it go up. Initial cost for the contractor is more. The S-shaped curve is for the owner. Okay, so he'll be billing, he'll be paying you only after you show results. Okay. So if suppose you are in a firm, if you are able to distinguish the fixed part and a variable part, you are going to make a profit. Now, which part should be higher? Should the fixed part be higher or the variable part should be higher? If you are looking at cost. Sorry? Variable cost. Actually, the fixed cost, I'm sorry to put it the other way around, the fixed cost has to be lower. Okay. I'll just go back to the slide where the fixed and variable costs are put. Okay. See, this indirect or variable cost, so this is the fixed cost. Okay. So the fixed cost is always going to be incrementing. Okay. So if suppose you are going to have a very high fixed cost, that means the slope of this will increase to very high levels. So you will prefer to cut this cost. Okay. So the fixed cost, this indirect cost is nothing but the fixed cost. Okay. So first month you have spent say 10 lakhs. Second month also you spent 10 lakhs. So 10 plus 10, 20 lakhs. So that's why this is a straight line. Got it? Okay. So the organization should be in a position to define what a fixed cost is and what is variable cost. Okay, fixed cost is what I mean, like if suppose you are having a site establishment, are you going to have air conditioned comfort? The moment you put air conditioned comfort, the cost is keeping on increasing. Per month it's going to be a constant. Are you going to have very high security forces, people, very highly trained people with guns and all that, or are you just going to go for ordinary setup? So all this is in your hands. Okay, so how you are going to come to arrive at those costs? Okay, the fixed cost component will be making a very big difference in the price of the product and also the cost at which you are getting the product done. So if suppose you are modifying the variable cost, we can come to a break even. Okay, in the sense that the variable cost is something which you can play around. Instead of going for one company's product, if you're going for another, then you'll be able to come to some decision. Okay. Do you have any questions which you would like to ask on this particular thing? Fixed cost, variable cost, direct cost, indirect cost. Okay, so always whenever you are having a product, you are going to look at the cost, because that is the only thing which is in your control. Okay, so another thing is cost helps you to decide whether you want to order a product or whether you are going to produce it. What do we mean by this? Whether you are going to order a product or produce it. See, we were bidding for the CMRL depot, Chennai Metro Rail Limited depot. The depot consisted of very long things like sheds, much like a railway platform. So what we were to do, we were asked to find out, if you are designing it, what is the cost of making the frames, the purlins, everything. The other option was, we were going for a company called Tiger Steel. Tiger Steel specialized in prefabricated construction. So if you go for prefabricated works, the advantage is it's repetitive, so installation is very easy. Here we have to fabricate it, we have to bring it, we have to erect it. We are producing it. So is it cheap to produce or is it cheap to get it ready-made? If you go to a prefabricated shop, it's like going to a supermarket. They have all the products. This is there. You can choose which you want, but you can only choose from the portfolio which they have.
Sir, the variable cost and the fixed cost are related to the running of the building or before that while construction. Like the quality of cement or the quality of bricks, there are variable cost or the steel which we are buying, or it is about the fittings and all the.
See, variable cost is one thing which you can do is you can choose between two, for example, bulldozers. You can choose between two tiles. Both the tiles are coming to a Saksham. Be a little fair here. I don't mind you guys playing, but don't play group games. Whatever. You are all helping him play the game, no? Fine. So you can choose between that. Your tiles, for instance, the tiles is all to some IS specification only. You can prove by on paper it is matching. But one will be costlier because of probably the transport, the distance from which it comes. But the thing may come from China, it's overseas. But because they are putting in so much numbers, volumes, their cost might still be competitive. So things like this only make a difference.
You said that we can lower the fixed cost.
Fixed cost is
Fixed cost is something which can
no. Fixed cost means, see, whether I want to employ a very big thing like group for security, or near the wine shop a fellow is lying down, I'm waking up and saying, come be the watchman. Both of them have a different cost. Okay, if I want to put, see, we were doing the job in Iraq. Okay, there they were having jersey barriers all around the construction site. Okay, this road middle barrier is there, no? Like that, it will be 3 meters tall, so that people with explosives can't come in. So how are you going to secure the site? Are you going to use that? There was another option where they used some rubber. It will make a mount, okay, around the thing, so nobody can crash into the construction site. So each of them have a different cost. Each of them has a different benefit. So if suppose you want to secure, there was another requirement that there was 3D cameras to detect people's movement. There was a thermal camera, so that tunnels if they make, you can detect. So now you see all this has a cost in buying, in running, in maintaining. So this all will become fixed cost. That is, to run such a complicated equipment, you have a initial cost is there. For that, it's much more than just using a chowkidar with a stick and a whistle.
Sir, so it should be like fixed cost should be that do we need security or not, or variable cost.
See, many things are there. Site establishment itself. Okay, see, if you want to have catering from Taj Coromandel for your site, some people will ask a very high quality because when the client comes, he wants it. For example, if you are doing this very high-end residential complex, the flat is itself 20 crores. One flat is 20 crores. People come in Audi and Benz. Can you ask the local chaiwala to come with a paper cup and give him tea? So then it becomes a site fixed cost. You get it. Depends on how it is. The policy which your company takes is what is going to make a difference here. And I hope I shed a little light on this.
So, sir, the running cost is also decided.
Yes, because every month you have to keep paying Taj Coromandel that much money for this. For each item like that, if you see, it will be a fixed thing. So when you keep looking at over the project time, it will keep increasing. On the other hand, material cost is initially high. After that, you can play around a lot there and then you can get it, right? Okay. Anything else? Okay. So this is another very important thing, whether you are going to order it readily or are you going to produce it. See, look at all the windows inside VIT. All of them are manufactured here at our workshop. They have only welded it and kept it. So instead of that, why did I not go for some other branded, nice brand which gives a good look? Cheap cost. Again, the thing is, that is what we wanted to see. Whether are we going to order it or are we going to produce it by ourselves? If you go to a company, you will be asked to take this decision also. Are you going to order a product or are you just going to produce it locally, okay, or in-house? And I have a short video of, sorry? Yeah, time is, don't worry, it's just to distract you when you are doing your attendance. Rate of investment, return of investment is what is going to principally play an important role. Okay, so as you watch this, I will also stop my lecture. We will, these robots are constructing a bridge In the future, they may be doing it. Look at the number of site engineers required. Okay. Look at the number of laborers who are going to be there. Tomorrow, are you going to be replaced by, or am I? And I don't know. We yesterday had a big blue button session. Okay, teacher may not be required. You can enjoy better in your room. Okay, like what you are doing, I guess, than having to come here and suffer. So we don't know. We don't know what the future is. Maybe BTech civil engineering itself may be scrapped. It will all be done by IT specialists. We don't know where it is going to go. So please see and ensure that you are not, just discarded. Okay.